Day 2 of Thanksgiving week special, Emerald Curse. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Let's dive in. Alright, and continuing from part 1, we continue with Emerald Curse. The Bushwackers watch the flashing images before their eyes. They see Dorothy Gale being led away by the flying monkeys and strapped to a table as the doctor begins to perform an operation. A cloaked figure reads from a large tome as she writhes and screams, eventually emerging as the Wicked Witch of the West. She turns and cackles, chilling the blood of all three men.
What the hell?
I know. The eyes of the Tin Man's head fade to black. Luca, annoyed, smacks the skull. Come on, stupid piece of... Ah! The head's drained all the juice out of my phone battery. Isn't that a bit of rotten luck? Yes, JJ, it is indeed a rotten bit of luck. There's gotta be more in there.
If there is, I don't want to know. I mean, why do that to her?
Maybe she wants to touch the ruby slippers? Lee looks at him.
How did you know about that?
What? I was just...
No, shut up. Guys, when I first landed here, I followed the road into the woods, and there was this pair of ruby slippers just sitting there.
Just sitting there.
Well, they were on a pedestal. Anyway, when I touched them, I had these visions. They were weird. Like, it felt like I was witnessing something from long ago. And then the flying monkeys came and took me away.
These visions, Sucha, can you describe them in detail?
No, I'm trying, but it's like when I had them, it felt like I was there. Now that I'm not in contact with them, it's like I've never experienced them at all.
So, you know you saw something, but you just can't remember what you saw.
Yeah, pretty much.
Huh. Could be a repository of experiences and knowledges from long ago. The stone tape theory? Maybe. Stupid head! He hits it against a rock. But I'm thinking here there's more to those slippers than just acting as a VHS tape. You think it was directly involved in whatever Lee saw when he touched them? I'm leaning towards it, but we need to know what he saw. Sujat, can you take us to the slippers? Lee looks around.
I guess, but this place is so big. I could barely get my bearings.
Any landmarks?
Well, I did see this rusty metal suit.
Luca points to a suit standing a few feet away from them. There are a dime a dozen.
So, what do we do?
Well, you said you found them in the woods, right? And you were on a road?
Yeah, gold.
Follow the yellow brick road. Alright, that's a start. And the roads here are just dirt tracks. We find the yellow brick road, find a route into the woods, find those slippers, and see what Suchek saw.
Well, there's one other thing. When I met the witch, Dorothy, she mentioned something about serpents returning to the land and laying waste to it. That mean anything?
No, don't think so. As I walk down the yellow brick road, Lee keeps looking at Luca. What?
Nothing.
No, come on. Out with it.
That thing. Why are you still carrying it?
Luca holds up the head of the decapitated Tin Man. Well, he just needs a little juice, that's all. And once we get it, we can find out more information. Hey, don't you think it's kind of weird that it had that thing saved?
What thing?
You know, Dorothy. You think it was a witness to the event? Well, possibly. Could also be data that is saved in the mainframe and shared with all 10 men. So it wouldn't be specific to just one. Precisely.
You seriously believe that?
Suchek, a tornado followed our van and deposited us in the land where you were kidnapped by flying monkeys.
I see your point. Here we are.
They arrive at the edge of the wood. Lee looks around before proceeding, followed by JJ and Luca. He sees the pedestal with its shining slippers. Walking over, he grabs it and throws his head back as a red glow emanates, enveloping the trio in a good part of the wood. What do you see, Suchek?
Hold on. I see...
Luca walks over and grabs him by the shoulder and grits his teeth. Lee lets go after a few more seconds and the two collapse to the ground. JJ runs over. Well, what happened? Luca slowly gets up and looks at the slippers. He walks over and places the head of the Tin Man and it begins to glow and it projects images before them. They see Dorothy struggling as an unknown figure sedates her and inserts a chip at the base of her head. She screams as she is slowly transformed into the new Wicked Witch of the West. She arises and cackles before footage jumps to numerous graves being desecrated and corpses exhumed. We then see brains being placed inside the Tin Men's suits and the eyes glowing red. The head then clatters to the ground, now blackened and smoldering. What the hell? We gotta stop the witch.
Yeah, but it's not really the witch.
You just saw what happened, dude.
And I'm telling you that deep down, Dorothy is still in there. She needs our help.
And suppose we can't reach her. Suppose a witch persona has completely enveloped her and there's nothing left of Dorothy. Then what?
We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I think it's worth trying to save her. I mean, it's not her fault she's in this position.
Lucas sighs and looks at the smoldering head. Ugh. Well, what do you suggest, an exorcism?
They were using some sort of tech with engrams of the original witch's consciousness stored onto it.
Bro, you're really starting to sound like Luca here.
In any case, if we can remove the chip, maybe that can revert the change.
Alright, here's the clincher though. We don't know how long she's had this chip in her head. Suppose we can remove it, we don't know what kind of damage it could cause. I mean, it may end up doing more harm than good.
And I'm confident you can pull it off. I mean it.
Damn it, Suchek, I'm a scientist, not a surgeon. I wouldn't even know where to begin.
You took anatomy in high school, dude. You always told us at lunch how last period you were dissecting stuff.
Cats, Suchek. I dissected cats.
Well, there you go. I'm sure you still got the touch. All you're doing is just dissecting something bigger. And not a cat. Or dead.
Suchek, have you ever considered that maybe the fate of Oz could be at stake?
How do you mean? Are you speculating that we're actually brought here on purpose?
I mean, why else would a tornado just drop us in another dimension instead of tearing us to pieces?
You're so poetic, JJ. Why aren't you a poet laureate?
In any case, assuming we were brought here on purpose, and that is to stop the witch from initiating a new reign of terror, we have to stop her at all costs. Even if it means, you know, killing Dorothy? I'm afraid so.
Well, I'm not gonna even entertain that idea. We're gonna try to save her. Got it?
When'd you get all authoritative?
I am the leader of the team, in case you forgot.
As he walks off, JJ looks over at Luca, who merely shrugs and follows. Oi! Oi! Where are you going?
I'm gonna go find the wizard.
Seriously?
Yes, seriously. He may know how to save Dorothy and get rid of the witch once and for all.
Alright, you really are set on this, aren't you? Why are you so enamored with Dorothy anyway?
I know you think being cynical is cool, Luca, but I actually care about people when they're suffering, especially if it's a condition beyond their control.
Alright. Sure.
And then we can confront the witch.
Hey, hang on a sec. You're going a million miles a minute here. Why don't you pick a task and stick with it?
What do you mean?
I mean, you're trying to do a lot of things all at once. I mean, send JJ to find the wizard. I'm game.
Ugh, fine. JJ, when you find the wizard, explain what you saw, and see if there's any way we could save Dorothy while getting rid of the witch's persona.
Shouldn't I tell him who we are, though?
That's kinda implied.
Alright.
You know where to go?
JJ points to a green light shining over the horizon. Kind of a dead giveaway, don't you think? As JJ walks off, Lee looks at Luca.
Now what?
Luca looks at the smoldering head. He removes it to reveal a darkened glass case. They're resurrecting the dead as foot soldiers, but what for? She's got the flying monkeys.
Maybe they're reinforcements?
Or something else.
Well, only one way to find out.
He points to the witch's lair in the distance. What are we waiting for? It cuts to the two picking their way through the bramble until they find themselves at the base of the castle. So really, fess up. What's the deal with you trying to save Dorothy? Was she your pinup girl back in the 90s?
No.
No? Alright, I'll go first. I'll get the conversation started. And I'm not afraid to admit, I did everything for Belle from Beauty and the Beast. Brunette and a bibliophile. Phew! What a combo. Lee turns to look at him. Hey! The heart wants what it wants. Now, your turn. Go ahead. Lee shakes his head and continues climbing up the slope. They presently reach the dungeon where they find no one present. Luca walks towards the door and opens it to reveal a vast chamber filled with tin men, not yet activated.
Good God.
They presently make it down to the ground level and walk down the rows of tin soldiers. Lee taps on one of the heads.
Funny. In there is someone. A brain. With memories and experiences. Hooked to all sorts of wires. Waiting to be brought online.
Well, Oz is modernizing, Suchek.
But you don't think it's weird that we dealt with something similar a few months ago with vampires? Is that like a universal concept?
I don't know, maybe they saw RoboCop 2 and thought, yes, that is a winner. We'll go with that. Lee gives him a look. As he walks by, we see the head pivot and the eyes light up. Well, you don't think so? They make it to the central console when they hear a noise. They see the eyes light up and suddenly Suchek is grabbed and thrown to the ground. Luca tosses a severed head at one of the drones. Intruder sighted. Eliminate. Eliminate. They raise their axes in charge. Lee screams as he kicks one of the 10 men off of him, but they're too strong and numerous and he watches in horror as one of them raises his axe. At the console, Luca looks around and pulls a lever. The 10 men stop and look around. Lee feels the pressure lessen and he struggles and runs off to join Luke at the console.
Care to enlighten us of what you just did?
Luca points to the lever.
And?
That is the emotional inhibitor. One of the 10 men looks into the body of another and is horrified to see what had happened. It screams and proceeds to plunge the axe into its head, falling over. Others proceed to do the same thing, but they hear a bang and turn to see Luca holding a gun. Oh, Tin Men of Oz! Hear me! What happened? Why am I like this? This wasn't supposed to happen. My husband. Where's my husband? He can't see me like this. Not like this. Who are you? Did you do this to us? Give us back our humanity. Luca walks over and looks at them. You were ordinary men and women living normal lives when the witch did this to you. And I'm sorry for this. The lives you knew before are gone. You can never get them back.
Wow. Love to see how this ends.
But even if your beginnings were nefarious, you can choose a more noble path. You are 10 men, the vaunted soldiers of this great land. You may have been created from sin, but I am giving you the chance at redemption. You can make meaning of your new lives, find a purpose to fulfill, and become something much greater. Together, you are the sum of all of your experiences, the likes of which this world has never seen or ever will again. Luca raises his axe. The one who did this to you believed she can control you, thought you were weak, and would kowtow to her. But you were stronger than either her or her flying rabble. You can earn your vengeance and redemption with the swing of an axe. You, 10 Men of Oz, have been called to the straight and noble path. Will you take the road with me? Will you answer the call? At this, the 10 men raise their axes in unison and cheer. Lee is astounded.
He actually got through to them. 10 years on, and he's still got it.